Hi, welcome to this FX Algo Trader demonstration of the Excel Control Suite in conjunction with the Daily Pivots Pro product. We're looking at the shift control feature within the product at the moment. This video is just going to talk about how you can control the calculation basis for the pivots. So let me load up a chart for you. You can see here we've got a cable 30-minute chart with we've got a main pivot group displayed on the chart with the calculation data. This pivot group was calculated between midnight on the 12th and 2100 hours on the 12th of the 2nd. So we've got a 9-hour window of data which has been used. The reason we've used 9 hours is because today is Monday, and if we look at our calculation basis by clicking on pivot systems, going to pivot calculation control, and you can see here that we've skipped Sundays, so that means the system will automatically exclude Sunday bars within the actual pivot calculation. And obviously trading on Fridays typically lasts up until about 2100 hours GMT, hence you only get 9 hours of full trading. So we've obviously got on our time shift controls here, we can adjust the start and end calculation times by plus or minus X number of hours. We can also show the calculation point on the screen using a dot. So in this case we're showing calculation points for the main group and also group 1, and we can also show or control the colors and the size of the data in the calculation data display. So let's just go back and load up some additional pivot functionality. So for example, if we want to enable a second pivot group, we can just click enable, and we'll have, say, Fibonacci pivots for this group. We'll call it group 1, and we'll just nudge the actual pivot labels by, say, -3. We want to show M levels, and we'll draw the lines as rays going into the future. And if I just accept those changes, okay, now you can see the group 1 pivot data is now displayed here. It's using the same calculation basis. Let's just change the layout of that a bit to make that a little bit clearer. Let's just make him a little bit bigger, and we'll put him in the same position as well. Okay, that's better. We can now see both pivot calculation data groups there, and you can start to see the subtle changes you get depending on how you actually use the pivot. So this, you can see here we've got an S1 pivot group here, and it's interesting looking at the way that price action tested the level almost exactly. So using multiple pivot groups makes a lot of sense. Let's also add a third pivot group in here, and we'll use standard calculation basis for these ones, and we'll name them group 2, G2, and we'll shift them over to the right a little bit so they keep them out of the way, and again we'll use a ray. So we go into our pivot control, and the states are 4 hours behind us, so therefore we need to move our calculation times by 4 hours respectively to simulate EST based timings. So all we do is subtract 4 hours, -4, -4 on our second group, and show all the data. Just going to go back in and add a color for our calculation point there. Okay, so now we've got all our pivot data being displayed, and we can see here we've also layered over some pivot shift data to simulate EST based pivots. And this is quite interesting when you start to you can start to see how the market starts to react to certain levels. Certainly Fibonacci levels have been well adhered to today. And also you can see here, got a high here around the M3 level on the EST based pivots, which is our second group. Again, and in the same way, the M3 level on the main pivot group, which is using standard GMT based pivots, is also being adhered to. So obviously there are different traders in the market who are looking at all of these levels. So if you don't have the levels, you can't see them, you can't understand what all the different nuances are on a given day. So that's just an example of how the shift calculation is used, or can be used, using a combination of EST based standard pivots, GMT based standard pivots, and Fibonacci pivots based upon GMT calculations. So quite a lot to get your head around here, but interesting stuff, and it gives a lot of insight into kind of hidden levels within the market. Anyway, if anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch, info@fxalgotrader.com. If anyone's wondering why the lines are flickering a little bit, it's because my machine is seriously slow when I'm recording these presentations, so there's a little bit of delay on the redraw. Anyway, I look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.